Hello everyone. Welcome to Power Automate Desktop Training Tutorial. My name is Vishal Bamlani, and in a session today, we will cover the most widely used application across all industry, that is Excel. As we all know, there are many individuals who are working on Excel, performing some repetitive actions, and are leading a monotonous life. Thus, RPA tool can play a major role here. RPA tools like Power Automate can tremendously reduce the work pressure, allowing that individual to consume his or her time in an effective way. But you must be wondering how, right? Let me quickly demonstrate something for you. Let's imagine one scenario wherein there is one Excel file which contains some data. Our job here is to merely copy this data from this Excel file to another Excel file. This task appears to be simple, right? Now, just imagine if we have to do it manually. Our steps would include opening the first Excel file, reading the data from it, then opening the second Excel file, writing the data onto it, and closing both the files, right? Now, let's see how we can replicate this in Power Automate Desktop. Let's create a new flow and name it Copy Excel Data. Click on Create. It will take a few seconds to open. Till then, I'll show you the Excel file from which we will read the data. I've kept the Excel file open for you to see how our data looks like. See, it contains a few columns and a few rows. Let's close this file. Now, to open any Excel file, we have an action called Launch Excel. Under Actions pane, simply write Launch Excel, drag and drop the action, and it will open for us. We have a property called Launch Excel, which gives us two options. Either we want to launch a blank document or we want to open a specific document. Under Document path, it asks us to select the Excel file we want to proceed with. Now let's select our input file. Another property is make instance visible. If we want to make this file visible to us, we need to enable this option. Another property is open as read only. If we don't have any write operations to be performed on this Excel file, we can simply enable this option to open this file in a read only mode. And then the output of this action is Excel instance. It means this particular variable will be used by all the actions that will perform certain actions on this particular Excel file. Let's click on Save. Now, a good practice is to close the Excel file as soon as we launch it. Type in Close Excel, drag and drop this action. Under Excel instance property, you can notice that this particular variable is auto-selected because we want to deal with this particular Excel file. Now, another property is before closing Excel. It gives us three options. Do not save the document, save document, and save document as. If we go with the first one, it will not save the document and simply close it. If we go with the second one, which is save document, it will save the document first and then close it. And third is save document as. If we go with the third one, it will ask us the format in which we want to save this file. It gives us multiple options. And then under document path, it allows us to select the folder in which we want to save this file. Now, since we are just reading the data from this file, we can simply go for do not save the document. Let's click on Save. Now let's read the data. Now to read any Excel data, we have an option called read from Excel worksheet. Drag and drop. It will open for us. And under Excel instance, this particular variable is auto-selected. Now we have a retrieve property, which gives us four options: the value of a single cell, values from a range of cells, values from selection, and all available values from worksheet. If we go with the first one, it asks us to enter the start column index and start row index. For instance, if we want to read cell A1's data, start column index would be A and start row index would be 1. If we go with the second option, values from a range of cells, it asks us to enter start column index, start row index, end column index, and end row index. For instance, if we want to select the data from A1 to D4, start column index would be A, start row index would be 1, end column index would be D, and end row index would be 4. If we go with the third option, values from selection, if we have some data selected in this Excel worksheet, it will read that data for us. And if we go with the fourth option, all available values from worksheet, it will read the entire data that is present in this Excel worksheet. Now, be it any of the options we proceed with, it will output the read data in this particular variable, Excel data. Let's click on save. Now let's launch another Excel file in which we want to write this data. Drag and drop the action. And this time we will open a blank document. Do notice that when we launched the first Excel, it created Excel instance as the output variable. And now that we are launching another Excel, it is creating Excel instance 2, which means if we want to perform certain actions on this particular Excel, we need to use Excel instance 2. Click on save. Now let's write this data down onto this Excel. We have the action write to Excel worksheet. Let's drag and drop this action. Now under Excel instance, since this tool doesn't know which particular Excel to proceed with, it gives us option. So now that we need to paste the data on second Excel, let's choose the second one. Now value to write, let's select Excel data. This is the value that we want to write on to this Excel. Under write mode, it gives us two options: on specified cell and on currently active cell. If we go with the first one, it asks us to enter the column index and row index. And if we go with the second option, whichever cell that is active, it will write this data onto that cell. Now let's go with the first option. Let's go for cell A1 and save. Now let's close this Excel file. Now, since we opened a blank document, we need to save this file under certain name. This time, we will use save document as, select the format as XLSX, and select the path where we want to save this file. Let's give it a name, new Excel file. Let's click on open and save this particular action. Now, our job is done. Let's quickly run this flow. Now it will simply launch the first Excel file, which contains the data. It will read this data for us and close that Excel. And then it will launch a blank document onto which it will write the data, and then it will save it under the name and in the folder that we gave. See, our flow is ready. Now let's see the updated file. It has all the data from our initial file. It appears to be very simple, right? So this marks the end of our module. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would request you all to subscribe my channel for more videos. Also, I have listed down some suggested videos as well as the ones next in line for your ease. Cheers.